Less than 2 months, Buffalo will reflect on one of the darkest days in the city's history. 10 people killed inside and outside of Tops Supermarket on Jefferson Avenue. That date, May 14th. One of the victims was retired Buffalo Police Lieutenant Aaron Salter. He was working security at the store. We learned that his actions on that day helped save so many lives, and those who knew him and worked with him want to do something to honor him. And to tell us more about 3 events and how you can get involved is Vernon Beaty and Simmone Talford. They are both organizers of the Lieutenant Aaron Salter Memorial Scholarship. Thank you for coming in on the town hall.
Yes, thank you for having us.
We know that the first event is on the weekend of that grim anniversary. So what I understand is that you're having Bruce Smith involved. Tell me about the events first.
Okay, so we are kicking off, our event season with our 5K half marathon. So everyone can sign up on our race website, which is bflo514.com, and you can register for either our 5K, and it's really for the community. Everyone can participate, whether you're going to come and walk or you can run it. The 5K, we wanted to make sure it's, affordable for everyone. It's $35 a person for registration. Our half marathon is $80 per person, and then we also have the opportunity for our relay. We do have, a lot of our community guests coming out, like you said, Bruce Smith, he will be in attendance. That, he's been a huge supporter of our organization, just trying to help out in any way that he can. And then following, the end of our race, we do have our post-race celebration, because we do want this to be a time where we're remembering and reflecting on everyone that, unfortunately lost their lives and were affected by this, tragedy. And we want to make sure that, it's something uplifting for the community while we still remember that this is still a trying time for us.
Vernon, this is really personal for you. You worked with Aaron, you knew him very well. I know that there's also going to be the gala, the golf tournament following day. Money raised is going for scholarships, and that's what's so important. Tell me about how many scholarships you hope to give out, and what's the criteria for a student who wants to get that scholarship?
We're going to do 10 scholarships for children, and that's in the less fortunate kids that we're going to start at Hutch Tech, and like-minded children that was like Aaron, kids that always tinker with things, and how Aaron was. We're looking for people exactly like that. So we're going to get 10 kids, and then we're going to give them scholarships of $5,000 each, and hopefully keep his spirit alive.
You talk about him tinkering with things, and we know that he went to Hutch Tech, and we know the type of students that Hutch Tech produces. What did he do? Tell people.
Well, Aaron was the first person. I remember the first time when Aaron told me he was trying to get a car started, and he was doing with oil. It was vegetable oil first, and then the next time I seen him, he actually moved to he moved to traffic or something like that. Then when I linked up with him again in the same house, he was changed it over to water. And I'm like, how are you going to get a car to run with water? Which, I was astounded by him doing it with oil, just regular house oil. So he did it, and I hadn't seen him for a few years after that, but then he was patenting it, and he changed everything over, and there you go. It was just Aaron. That's how he was.
This is something good is going to come out of it. 30 seconds, if you can just tell me about why it's important to remember Aaron and all of the victims in this community.
I think if you knew Aaron, you'd be the same way with Aaron as we are with Aaron, because Aaron was the type of person, he had this jolly laugh, and Aaron would do anything for you in a heartbeat. He hardly ever said no to people, community-like person, and that day he was actually helping someone with, groceries to their car. That was Aaron, and Aaron would give you a shirt off his back. Very nice man, very good person.
Simmone, why did you want to get involved?
Family ties. My grandmother and his mom were actually very good friends, best friends, and then he and my mom grew up. His mom was her babysitter. So, and my dad's former law enforcement, so there were ties to the family side. It could have been any one of, former law enforcement that helped out with security, and just making sure that everyone knows he was loved by everyone, no matter what.
Buffalo will never forget. We will never forget. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, that was Vernon Beaty and Simmone Talford. They are both organizers of the Lieutenant Aaron Salter Memorial Scholarship. We want to thank you again for joining us on the Town Hall.